Well, here we are. Um, Week 10 predictions. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the Raiders taking on the Broncos on Thursday night tomorrow. Probably going to be a pretty bad game. Not like it's going to be a blowout. It's not. There's not going to be anything crazy that happens in this game. Broncos are 7-2. Raiders are 2-6. I mean, Raiders, they almost won against the Jaguars, but the Jaguars was barely able to pull through, and that's not good if you're the Jaguars, but more on that later on in this video and in tomorrow's video. But we'll be talking about everyone in the league and what my predictions are for the rest of the season in that video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But the Raiders, they're just not a good team. The Broncos are a really good team. They're 7-2. Raiders are 2-6. Broncos should win, but if something happens on Thursday night, all of a sudden, like how things have gone on Thursday night, where you just cannot predict it, who knows? Maybe the Raiders will win, but I don't think so. Now we have another international game. We have two more left. This one and then one next week. Now in Berlin, the Falcons and the Colts. Another game that's probably not going to be very good. Colts are 7-2. They had a bad loss against the Steelers, despite them managing to come back and make it a 7-point game. The Falcons, after that Bills win, they've just lost the ability to play. I guess that was their Super Bowl, and now they think the season's over. I don't know. Colts have not played well. Falcons have not played well. Colts did not play well last week, but they played well the rest of the season, and I think they'll continue to play well. I don't think they're done, and I think this is a bounce-back game for the Colts. So, Colts go 8-2, Falcons go 3-6. Colts win, and that's it. Next game, Saints-Panthers. This is another crazy one. Panthers coming off an insane victory against the Packers last week. Saints, the usual happens. They lose. So, the same's pretty much going to happen again. Panthers, they have an easier schedule coming up. And then, at the end, it begins to go crazy. I've already kind of looked at the schedule. We'll be going over the schedules in tomorrow's video, but the Saints, they need to already be tanking at this point for a draft pick. The Panthers, they have a chance to maybe sneak into the playoffs. So, Panthers are going to win, and they'll go 6-4, and Saints will go 1-9. Now, Giants, Bears. I was very, very, I wanted to take the Giants. I decided not to, but I can see the Giants pulling off the upset here. I can. Ultimately, I don't think they will. That's why I went with the Bears. But the Giants, they just strike me as this is their game where they're going to come out of the woodwork and beat the Bears. Maybe, but ultimately I think that is ultimately wishful thinking, especially after the Bears put up 47. I mean, I don't know if the Giants offense can do that, even on the Bears defense. We'll see. I don't know. Bears should win this game, but if the Giants win, I can see why the Giants would win. The Bears, they're a solid. I'm not going to say they're a good team yet, but they're a solid team that should be able to beat these bad teams. Will they beat higher levels of competition? that's yet to be determined. They didn't beat the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, so that's ultimately why I'm not more. The Bears aren't, in my opinion, as favorable here. I think Bears win this game. They should win this game, especially without Scadaboo. Yeah, Bears win. Giants, we'll see what happens with them, but I think Bears will win this. Now, Jaguars Texans. And if you saw my predictions video, you know who I already have in all these games. But in this game, I got the Texans. I do. I am not a fan of this Jaguars team. I don't know what happened. After the Jaguars beat the Chiefs, it's similar to the Falcons. Like, all of a sudden they just are playing like the season is over, and they just have not played with the same level of play they did against the Chiefs. Maybe that's a sign the Chiefs are frauds. I don't think they are, but maybe that's a sign that they are. Barely squeaking out a victory over the 2-5 Raiders in overtime. It's not a good look. Jaguars, I'm sorry, I don't even think you're making the playoffs at this rate. The Texans, I know they lost C.J. Stroud. Davis Mills is definitely not C.J. Stroud. But the defense is why the Texans are going to win this game. The Texans' defense is, again, one of the best in the league. I would say, like, top 3. The best 3 defenses in the league, in my opinion, are Seattle, Denver, and then Houston. I think Philadelphia's defense is also up there as well. But this Texans defense is why the Texans almost beat the Broncos and is going to beat the Jaguars. They're going to beat them. I think they will. They lost to the Jaguars in Week 3. They're at home. I know Stroud, he may play. I don't know. It's a concussion, so it depends. He should be back. Assuming he passes concussion protocol, he should for sure be back by next week. But I think Texans still win this game. I think they're the better team than Jacksonville. I do. And Texans, I think, will win this. Jaguars, they've looked too inconsistent for me to pick them. Next game, Bills Dolphins. Miami has to fire everybody. They do. It's over. Their season is over. It's time to tank. They had a shot to maybe squeak in. Maybe do what they did last year, and look decent enough to maybe squeak into the playoffs. That's not that. If they beat the Ravens, that's what would have happened. That's what I would be saying right now. And I probably would. I think I might pick them in this game, but I'm not going to, because the Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the league. They are. The Bills, they are one of the best. Are they the best team? I don't know. I don't know if anyone's the best team right now. I thought the Colts were until they lost to Pittsburgh. The Bills, if you saw my power rankings video yesterday, I put them at number 2. They're right there. The Bills should win. They should. The Dolphins, the season is over. It's over for Miami. Like, there's no coming back. If they can somehow start winning games, then they pull a string of wins together and maybe get back into playoff contention at like 6-7 or 7-7. That'd be crazy, and this would be a perfect game to start it out with, beating one of the top teams in the league. But it's not going to happen. Bills are too good. The Dolphins, if they beat the Ravens with Lamar Jackson on Thursday, I probably would pick them here in this game, because they're more desperate. than the Bills are. But the season's over. McDaniels knows it. Everyone knows it. The season's over for Miami. Bills win this. Ravens, Vikings. This was good. This last week was probably going to be a blowout. This week, no. It's not anymore. Vikings coming off a massive upset against the Lions. Ravens beating the Dolphins, like we just said. Ravens are the desperate team. They are playing with desperation, and that's why they will win this game. But Minnesota is not a bad team either. So, and like I said, we will be talking about all these, about every team in the video tomorrow. But the Ravens and the Vikings, they're both, in my opinion, the same in desperate and being desperate, but I think the Ravens are more desperate. They know they can win, and they will. The Vikings, they're a team for the future. I think even maybe next season we'll see the Vikings play a lot better than they did this season. But Ravens need this win, and they're gonna get it. Ravens win, and Vikings, they go 4-5 as well. Now, Browns Jets, the game that no one's going to be watching, unless you're an avid Browns or Jets fan. Yeah. Sauce is going to the Colts. Williams is going to the Cowboys. Jets are trying to blow it up. However, Browns are a better team. Like the Browns are a worser. They're not the better. They're a worser team than the Jets. The Jets are better, despite trading away arguably their two best defensive players. They are still better. Maybe not on defense. Like the Browns are definitely better there, but the Jets are better as a team, I would say, than the Browns are. Especially with Dillon Gabriel as the Browns quarterback. He does not look good at all. When are they going to bring in Shedeur? I don't even know anymore. They may just trade him away at this point, because if they had a mind to put him in, I think they would have done it already, personally, and not put in Dillon Gabriel. They wouldn't have drafted Dillon Gabriel. They would have drafted Shedeur Sanders as the second overall pick instead of waiting until round 5. The Jets, they're going to win. I think they will. And that might be one of their last wins of the season, but they'll still win. Browns, their season's over too. Both these two teams are over. They're going to be like a top 5, top 10 draft pick. But I think Jets are the better team in this case, especially at home. If they were on the road, maybe the Browns, but at home, Jets are the better team. Patriots, Buccaneers. We're about to see who the Patriots really are this week. The Buccaneers are a good team. They're a really good team. Have they been in a little bit of a slump lately? Yes, but they're coming off a bye. Don't know with injuries and all that how that's going to affect this game. It may very well affect this game. And Patriots may win because of it. But I think Tampa's the better team. I think they are. I'm taking the Buccaneers here. I don't think the Patriots are ready for the Buccaneers level. If they are, then who knows? We might see New England in the Super Bowl for all we know at this point. The Buccaneers, though, I think are the better team in this case. Even with all the injuries, I think they are. The Patriots, they're young. They're getting ready, and I think in a few years they will be one of the top teams in the league again. Yep, the dynasty may be coming back. But the Buccaneers are, right now, still the better team, and I think they'll win. So, but this is going to be a good test to see how good the Patriots are this season. 6 straight wins is incredible. They haven't played the best levels of competition. Their best win in this 6-game stretch has been against the Bills, which is the best team they've played by far, because the second best would be probably the Falcons. But I mean, they beat the Panthers, and the Panthers are looking better than the Falcons. So I mean, maybe that too. But Patriots, I think, still win this. I mean, Buccaneers still win this. Patriots, they're a little bit too. They're not quite ready yet. But maybe even next year they'll be ready to beat the top teams. Maybe they'll be the top team next year. But this year, I don't know. I think they'll for sure make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to go as far as some people might think. Now, this game started going into the afternoon games. Cardinals, Seahawks. Yeah. Cardinals, are they back? I don't know. I don't really know. The Seahawks, they are a really good team, and they will win this game. Initially, before I saw the Cardinals play on Sunday, on Monday, I had the Seahawks winning like 14-30, but that's not happening. I think it's going to be a lot closer now, especially with more of a functional quarterback than Kyler Murray. Jacoby Brissett, he probably is going to be the starter at this point, because I don't see Kyler Murray. If they put Kyler Murray in against the Seahawks, and Seattle wins by like 50, they're not going to ever put him back in. They're going to put Jacoby Brissett in immediately. They'll probably put him in at halftime. That's how desperate this Seahawks team, this Cardinals team would be in that case. Especially with what Seattle did to Washington. If Kyler Murray comes into this game and Seattle does what they did to Washington on Sunday night, yeah, Jacoby Brissett's going in immediately after, probably by halftime. And the Cardinals play a lot better because he is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray at this point. Seattle, but either way, despite whoever's playing quarterback for them, Seattle's going to win. Hands down. It's not going to be a blowout if Jacoby Brissett plays. If Kyler Murray plays, it's going to be a blowout. But either way, Seattle will still win. They have a better team. They don't just have a better defense, they have a better offense. And yeah. Seattle, they could be they are very well a legitimate threat in the NFC too for the Super Bowl. Now, this game is going to determine a lot of things in the West. Rams, 49ers. It's crazy that we got the 2 division games. We got Seattle and Arizona, and then the Rams and the 49ers. These 2 games are going to determine a lot. If Arizona surprises Seattle, then yeah, Arizona's not out of it either, but they might as well be. Rams, 49ers, they are very, and I mean, these 2 teams, I don't know. Rams are a really good team, and the 49ers are very hurt, but they're still winning. What does that mean for this game? I think it means Rams are going to win. The Rams are the better team. The 49ers just have too many injuries. They have an injury problem. They do. Every year, it seems, they have an injury problem. And every year, they seem to go down because of that injury problem. This year, they're not going down because of that injury problem. They're still winning. They're still kind of maintaining pace. They're only a half game behind Seattle and LA right now, just because they played more games than both of them. But the Rams, they're still going to win this. They will. The 49ers, I'm sorry, they're not going to beat the really good teams because of their injuries. The injuries still have to affect them in some way. There's no way the 49ers can keep playing like this and it not affect them. There's no way the 49ers can keep getting hurt and still win these games. They can't do it. They can't keep getting away with it. The Rams will win. They will. They have to. If the Rams don't win and the 49ers sweep them on a very hurt 49ers team, for all we know, San Francisco to the Super Bowl, honestly. Because the 49ers should be like 4-5 or maybe 5-4 right now because of the injuries. Maybe even 3-6 with some of the teams they played. But the fact that it's a real possibility that that very, very, very banged up 49ers team can sweep a really, really good and healthy Rams team, I don't know. I mean, at par for the season, I guess, with how the season has gone. But it's going to catch up with them eventually. And the Lions, it caught up with them last season with in this playoffs. Maybe it will catch up with them then too for the 49ers. But it will eventually catch up with them. There's no way they're going all the way to the Super Bowl like this. And I think the Rams, they have to win this. They've got to. Plus, they have to keep up with Seattle, because if Seattle wins and they lose, well, Seattle's got a full game control. However, they play Seattle next week, so that game's really going to determine, I think, the winner of the NFC West. But the 49ers, the Rams know they have to win this game to keep up with Seattle, because it's pretty much all. I think Seattle will win pretty comfortably. It will be a close game, but it will not be a nail biter where the Cardinals miss the extra point, and that's why they win, like in the Falcons Patriots game last week. It's not going to be a game like that. It's going to be a comfortable win, I would say, probably of 7, maybe 10 points. But the Rams, they need the Rams, they know they need this one. They have to. And if the Seahawks lose and the Rams win, well, that's great for them, because now they control the NFC West. So they have to win this game. They have to. If they get swept by the 49ers, then they don't deserve to win the NFC West anyway. So Rams win. They know they have to. McVay knows they have to. Everyone knows they have to. Rams win. Now, Lions Commanders. Jaden Daniels out for the year at this point. That injury was brutal, and it was crazy to see, just to watch in real time that injury. That was a gruesome injury. Hopefully he can get better, because I do like, even though I'm an Eagles fan, I do like watching Jaden Daniels play. I do think he's a really good quarterback. He just so happened to go to the Commanders. The Lions. Is the whole injuries, and is it catching up with them sooner than it did last year? I don't know, but it's not going to happen this game. Washington's too banged up of a team to lose to beat a Lions team, which isn't completely healthy, but it's a lot more healthier than the Commanders. The Lions, I think if these two teams were fully healthy, I think this could be a shootout. I really do. I think it would be a shootout. But the Lions are the better team, and they will dominate this game. The Commanders, they're banged up. I mean, really banged up. So Lions win. They have to. They know they have to. They'll do it. Lions win. Not going to talk much about this game. Now, Sunday Night Football, Steelers-Chargers. Well, you had one of your offensive linemen back, and then he got hurt. Now pretty much done for the year. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, LA. You had such a strong start to the season, too. It looked like the Chargers were going to dominate the NFC West after week 3. when they started 3-0 and they beat everyone in their division to start the year, like, okay, yeah, Chargers are going to be really good. Since then, they've lost 3 games and they've won 3 games. They obviously won last week, but it was to the Titans. If it was to a team like the Lions or a team like the Rams or even the 49ers, they would have lost that game. And the Titans even played well against them. The Steelers come off a crazy victory against the Colts. I did not expect that, alright? I did not. I didn't. Alright? I thought the Colts would win this game, especially after how the defense has played. I did not know the defense was going to play like that. I guess maybe the fans hosting the funeral for the defense got the defense to wake up, because that's the only explanation. Chargers, they're banged up. Steelers, they're the better team. They are. I know I said this 2 weeks ago on Sunday Night Football against the Packers, and I took the Steelers over the Packers. I'm going down the same stretch again. I'm taking the Steelers over the Chargers. I have to. The Chargers, they're too banged up right now. The Steelers might start to be building momentum after that victory against the Colts. They might. If they lose this game, it's obviously going to be all gone. But still, this Chargers team is too banged up. The Steelers' defense is going to pretty much have a sack party on Justin Herbert. The Chargers are not going to play well in this game. The Steelers are going to play much better. Yes, they do have to go on the road to LA on a Sunday night, but I do think they're the better team and they will win. Steelers win. Chargers, they'll beat the easy teams, but they're not going to beat the teams at their level or better than them. They're probably going to make the playoffs and probably lose first round. I mean, Steelers do the same thing too. Will it happen this season? Who knows? But yeah. But more on that tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Now, here we go. This game. Monday Night Football, Eagles at Packers. There are 2 key components in this game. 1, Tucker Kraft is out for the year pretty much. That's a big, big loss for Green Bay's offense. That's number 1. Number 2, the Packers tried to ban the tush push during the offseason. You don't think we haven't been thinking about that since it nearly got banned? This is almost a pride game for the Eagles. If they let the Packers beat them after trying to ban their best play, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still obviously going to be an Eagles fan, but that's crazy to think about. The Eagles know they have to win this game for pride and for dignity. They cannot, even if the tush push gets banned next season, it's not going. The Eagles will continue to beat the teams who forced this on us. I don't agree with the ban either. I do not. I think the play is perfectly legal, and I think the Eagles are probably going to run it at least 5 or 6 times on the Packers. Yeah, they will, just to rub it in their face. Why? Because they can, and that was proven at the owners' meeting. But number 2, we all know why the Packers tried to ban it. They just can't defend it. They don't want, and so really, get better at defending it. That's the message. If you are so desperate to ban a play just because you can't defend it, like, that does not, what does that say about you? Like, that just proves that you're a coward. You are. You don't want to play better, and now you're trying to ban it. I'm sure if the Packers designed that play, came up with that play, or, well, maybe not came up with it, but started using it like the Eagles have, because the rest of the league has started to use the play, which I find really funny. We pretty much created the trend, but if the Packers came up with it and really made it work for them, like the Eagles did, yeah, the Packers would be in the same position that we are as that the Eagles are now. Like, why are you trying to ban it? Just because you can't defend it, like, just get better at defending it. Like, that's just wrong, in my opinion. The Eagles will win. We have to win. This is for pride. This is for dignity. This is a yes, I'm gonna say it. This is a dignity game for the Eagles. We have to beat them. I don't care if we're at home. I don't care if we're on the road. We have to beat the Packers now pretty much every time we play them until no one talks about banning the tush push again. If anyone else tries to ban the tush push, which I think if they do bring it up next year, they probably will be banned. I know. I think the tush push is short-lived at this point. We put it on the map, and now everyone hates it. Even announcers hate it. Like, it's just wrong. And the Packers created a trend in this season. They didn't get their way this season. Next season, if they try to ban it again, they probably will successfully ban it. If they don't, and it's still a thing next season, then great. The league actually understands how to win and actually win with pride. But anyway, those are my picks for this week. Yeah. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I have two other channels, Southwest Gamer and Legos Model. Southwest Gamer, I do like sports gaming, like Madden, Retro Bowl, Hoopland, Retro Goal, like all those type of games. And on Legos Models, I do Legos. So those are my. But yeah, those are. So if you're interested, links will be in the description for both those videos. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. We're getting very close now. We're at now 382 was what I saw the last time I checked. So we're getting really close. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the support that I keep getting on these videos. And I'll see you in the next one. See you on tomorrow's video. Bye.